Hey everyone, Kyle Walker here. If you love cars, fixing things, or just want to understand your vehicle better, you're in the right place. I share hands-on tips, smart driving advice, and straight-up car talk without the fluff. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stick around till the end. You don't want to miss what's coming up. Let's get into it.
The transmission of modern cars is diverse, but a significant share of transport is equipped with such a node as DSG Gearbox, direct shift gearbox. It can be found in C and B class cars. Also in a more advanced 6-speed variant, the node is mounted by automakers on powerful vehicles of Class D. Like all products, DSG boxes are not devoid of disadvantages and advantages. Based on the operating characteristics, it is necessary to know how to properly drive cars with a transmission of this type installed. What is a DSG box? Among motorists about the gearbox with the marking DSG, there are many legends. Some of them have confirmation, and some of them do not always correspond to reality. To understand what it is and how it functions in reality, you need to understand the device yourself. Important, the DSG is a robotized transmission with 2 integrated clutches. By duplicating the clutch, the gear changeover in such vehicles is optimized. Practically lightning-fast gear changes are obtained. Operational efficiency is improved. The vehicle is able to accelerate quickly. In classic gearboxes or standard robots, in the process of transition from one stage to another, the driver with the help of manipulation, or robot, due to automation removes the single clutch disc from the connection with the flywheel. The next operation is to engage the desired gear. The cycle is completed by returning the disc to the original, working position. With this approach, there is no transfer of torque from the engine to the gearbox during the period until the necessary transmission gears engage. The car during this time manages to lose dynamics. Device and principle of operation of DSG. Since the DSG robotized transmission works with 2 clutches, the design also provides 2 rows of gears. Modern models of equipment are not rarely equipped with 6 steps, but buyers have the opportunity to purchase progressive machines. With 7-speed gearboxes, the following constituent elements can be found in the DSG design. Main gear, a pair of clutches, differential, control unit, a damped flywheel, a pair of differential rows. The principle of operation of the installed DSG assumes sequential engagement of gears of 2 rows. This means that during the operation of one of the stages, the other, which is in the stage of inclusion, is always ready to start. Such a design approach implies shifting between gears, in which there is no break in the power flow. Features of these robotic transmissions expand the capabilities of the gearbox if you compare their efficiency with mechanically shifted counterparts or automatically shifting systems. Running motors with DSG do not rotate in useless idle mode, and the car as a result has improved acceleration parameters. The main advantages and disadvantages of DSG. Choosing cars with built-in DSG boxes, it is recommended to pay attention to their pros and cons. This will help to choose the optimal design for your operating conditions. The list of disadvantages includes items. Cars equipped with a robotized transmission of this type will cost a little higher than cars in which there are classic gearboxes. Due to the complex design, the cost of repair rises, and in case of serious troubles without the possibility of recovery, the replacement of the unit will cost very expensive. In case of significant temperature changes, the risk of failure of such a box increases, and in domestic conditions, it is problematic to avoid it, so the mileage life of DSG during intensive use is considered to be lower than that of mechanics or traditional automatic. The built-in control system for the user turns out to be unrepairable, so in case of its breakdown, the minus is the need to buy a new system in the process of operation. Is significantly overheated pre-selector. Read also, what to do if the grenade knocks in the car. Repair with your own hands. The positive characteristics of cars with 2 clutches include economical fuel consumption, minimization of power loss of the internal combustion engine, increased acceleration. Speed. Fuel is consumed more balanced, more efficient, by 10% than in cars with a manual transmission or automatic. One of the advantages is the function that allows you to change gears in automatic or manual mode. Due to its positive performance parameters, the direct shift gearbox principle has proven to be the most popular in automobiles. World car brands are installing this promising transmission in their vehicles. Typical examples are Skoda Octavia or Yeti, WV Passat CC, and Tiguan, Audi Q5. Also, the Spanish seat Altia, Leon, and Ibiza are equipped with a robotized unit. What is the difference between DSG and other gearboxes? Although motorists have long favored cars with two control pedals, but not all drivers understand the structure of the transmission. Cars with different gearboxes differ in their behavior on the highway and in traffic. For example, a car with a classic automatic transmission with one clutch and a robotized electronic module does not need signals from the driver to move between steps. The work is done by the built-in robot. However, there are often claims to this note. Not always such an auto behaves predictably. There are situations when the low gear is held for a long period. As a result, the motor roars from under the hood. Sometimes everything happens exactly the opposite, and the steps are clicked to the fifth, when the situation requires to drive on the third. During long traffic jams, the clutch may overheat. Some time ago, auto mechanics did not repair the variator, referring to it as a replaceable unit. Now the situation has changed, as there is a demand for replacement of V-belt transmission, which is a competitor of robotized automatic transmission for DSG box. It is believed that the resource of the variator is limited to 100,000 kilometers of mileage, so it is better in this situation this parameter in the DSG. Use belt transmissions for conquering off-road is not worth it. Repair due to overheating will cost quite expensive. Or there will be a transition to emergency mode, and the driver will wait until the node cools down. Variators will organically perform their tasks on autos of small and medium classes. It should be taken into account that a conventional automatic transmission with a small number of gears differs from the model with two clutches by a lower efficiency. In this case, we recommend choosing robots or automatics with 6 or 7 gears. This will allow you to get a mechanism with acceptable characteristics in fuel consumption and power gain. What faults are characteristic of DSG? Before identifying problems in the transmission, it is necessary to take into account that manufacturers put one of the types of DSG box, 6-speed DSG-6 or 7-speed DSG-7. The first option became available in 2003. The clutch there worked on the wet principle in an oil bath, which had a negative effect on power. Volkswagen was engaged in the development of the 7, and in 2008, a model equipped with a dry clutch was presented to the judgment of motorists. However, it turned out to be quite problematic. Drivers of cars equipped with DSG are familiar with problems when shifting gears. As a result, small jolts are felt in the car. This occurs due to the sharp closing of the clutch discs. While driving inside the cabin will be noticeable not only grinding and clanking, but also a slight loss of traction. Read also, features of gear shifting on mechanics' negative signs are manifested more often in the dry type of boxes. This is due to more intensive wear of the node due to the not always correct operation of the box mechatronic unit. Negative signs may manifest themselves to a lesser extent with other nodes. Relatively rapid wear of the clutch engagement fork, penetration of dirt under the sensors, penetration of oil into the antifreeze, wear of friction bearings, bushings on the shafts, breakage of solenoid contacts, etc. It is worth considering that manufacturers give a warranty for smooth operation of DSG-7 about 150,000 kilometers. The limit is interrupted for cars older than 5 years. It will be possible to get a replacement only if factory defects are detected. How to properly use the robotic box direct shift gearbox. Dry and wet type of boxes are subjected to wear during operation. For DSG-7, this turns out to be more noticeable. Accordingly, the 7 as opposed to the wet 6 is at risk in the following situations: aggressive driving, sudden start from a standing start, active slippage, etc. The oil bath is a protective environment for the node. Engineers calculated for such a design the possibility of increased torque, up to 350 Nm, in contrast to the dry environment, withstanding up to 250 Newton meters. Experienced car owners do not recommend chip-tuning DSG-7. Along with aggressive management, it can quickly put the auto out of service. Sometimes such gearboxes were repaired even after 50 to 70,000 kilometers of mileage. Preferably, the environment of operation of robotic automatics is populated areas. Thus, it will be possible to save fuel because driving is carried out on gentle modes and low revolutions. However, frequent transitions from first to second gear and active braking contribute to clutch overheating. Switching to semi-automatic mode or manual override can help avoid problems. Raise the operational life will be possible, knowing how to drive and use the brake pedal correctly. It is important to depress it to the end before switching modes. If it is not fully depressed, the clutch discs will not separate completely, and this will contribute to their wear. The rule of transition to neutral mode during stops, relevant for single-disc gearboxes, in this case, turns out to be unclaimed. Having stopped at a traffic light for an interval of less than 60 seconds, it is not worth changing the switch knob to the end position. Such frequent manipulations also wear out the discs. Important. When the driver of a car with a DSG box fully depresses the clutch, the system automatically disengages the clutch discs on its own. One of the important taboos for DSG-7 is slippage. It is completely forbidden in all conditions, including mud, icy surfaces, and, especially, at the start. A parking brake installed in the parking lot to prevent the vehicle from rolling away contributes to a longer service life. This saves the locking mechanism. Between gear shifts, it is recommended to make a delay of about 1 second, which will allow the built-in electronics to switch to the required modes. Manufacturers do not recommend overloading such cars with constant towing. Also, do not carry excessively heavy loads in the cabin. The transmission was not calculated for such loads, so it can unexpectedly fail. A little more enduring of the two types of gearboxes will be DSG-6. Conclusion. In a gentle mode, robotized gearboxes can serve up to 150,000. With timely maintenance and care, they behave perfectly in urban conditions. It is important not to overload the vehicle. In conclusion, the DSG Gearbox represents a significant advancement in automotive technology, offering rapid gear shifts and improved fuel efficiency. Its dual-clutch design allows for seamless transitions between gears, enhancing the overall driving experience. However, it is essential to consider its disadvantages, such as potential maintenance costs and the complexity of the system. Ultimately, whether a DSG gearbox is the right choice depends on individual driving preferences and needs. Understanding both its benefits and drawbacks will help you make an informed decision when choosing your next vehicle. Thank you for watching, and we hope this video has provided valuable insights into how the DSG gearbox works.